I just finished reading a book about death. I didn't learn anything, so I won't mention the name of it. I guess the reason I didn't learn anything is because nobody really knows what death is like for sure. There are psychics who claim to communicate with the dead, and some of their information can be useful, especially if you can't find the gold coins Uncle George hid just before his passing. I like some of the expressions we use for dying. Some say the dead person passed. Some say he passed away. I prefer the longer version, passed away. It seems more respectful somehow. You can also say that Uncle George croaked, kicked the bucket, or bought the farm, but only if you're talking to someone who didn't know him very well. You wouldn't say that to his widow. I heard a dead man croak once. Actually, he burped loudly. I was living and working at a mortuary, working my way through college, and I used to go out on first calls. I guess they call it first calls because it's their first priority, picking up the dead. An old man had died in a cabin in the woods. He was lying on his bed in an awkward position, and the other mortuary worker and I had to lift him into a seated position before we put him on the gurney. We both put an arm under his shoulders and lifted. He said, "Burp!" and all the fermented food in his stomach that had been in there for days came up and splashed on us. It really stunk, incredibly bad. You could smell it for days. Stoics don't have any one certain idea about death, what it is, what lies beyond the grave. We don't promise heaven or hell as so many religions do. Nobody can really know for sure until we get there. We all want something nice, of course, but we may get nothing at all. Of all the Stoics, I think Emperor Marcus Aurelius thought about it the most. It's one of the main themes in his book of exercises, what we call the Meditations. His conclusion is that if it's nature's best interest for us to go on living in some form or other after death, then we will. He doesn't doubt that nature can manage it, but it's only going to do that if it's in the best interests of the whole of nature, not just people. I don't believe in heaven or hell, but I suspect if the energy of our consciousness does go on existing in some form, then we would probably be attracted to different kinds of afterlife. Really pious persons who enjoy quiet orchestral music and lofty thoughts would be attracted to a serene and gracious afterlife, and to other people who also liked such places. A slick hustler by the name of Lucky Eddie would probably want heaven to look and sound a lot like Las Vegas, with much looser slots. Like does attract like, and birds of a feather do flock together. The quietly pious person who ended up in a Las Vegas afterlife might think he was in hell. The Las Vegas lounge lizard who ended up in a heavenly library would know he was. I think I could adjust to either. I don't want to complain. Whatever nature can manage is fine with me. I like naps as much as the next guy, but I don't want to be asleep forever.